Hey everybody, good morning. Just taking a sip of some green matcha, and I'm going to jump right into this Bible study. We are in Proverbs 6, and man, this is a powerful one. Just read it. I'm going to try to go through it quick because I got to get out the door. The title, Avoid Disaster. My son, if thou be surety for thy friend, if thou hast stricken thy hand with a stranger, thou art snared with the words of the mouth, thou art taken with the words of thy mouth. Do this now, my son, and deliver thyself when thou art come into the hand of thy friend. Humble thyself and make sure thy friend. So I'm going to just highlight that one portion. When I was engaged to my fiance, and I had no clue to the extent of the truth of what was really happening to me and what he was doing to me. I was totally clueless. But the whole point is, during this whole time, I treated him as my friend. I truly served him as my friend. I tried to help him in every aspect of his addiction. The taking him to the doctor's appointments, the taking him to the narcotics and meetings, driving him to see his sponsor. Like I served in such a way to do anything and everything that I could with the hope that he would get well and that he would come to the surrender to the Lord. So it's saying, deliver yourself when you come into the hand of your friend and go, meaning wherever God tells you to do and wherever God tells you to go, and humble yourself, meaning there were times when I wanted to quit. I was like, this is too much. Like, he is like such a leech, on my time. But I just was like, I'm going to help him. And it says, make sure thy friend, meaning make sure that this person really is your friend. But Jesus also told us to love our neighbor as ourselves. And Jesus also said to love our enemies. So just kind of keep that in context. Okay. Give not sleep to your eyes, nor slumber to your eyelids. I'm going to keep going down. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provides her meat in the summer and gathers her food in the harvest. So the idea of the ant is that the ant is such a small, animal or whatever in the kingdom of, insects, whatever. And it's such a small, little, tiny thing. And yet ants are so powerful. They gather a lot of food. They're hard workers, and they work like with this just intuitive, like, I'm just going to go, I'm going to work, like a worker ant, right? And so there's nobody telling them what to do. They're just, as a colony, an ant colony, like doing what's necessary to provide for themselves. Okay. And so like, it goes back to, how long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard, when will thou arise out of thy sleep? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travails, and thy want as an armed man. Now, with my fiance, his entire way of manipulation and mischief was his story that he had a, quote, sleep disorder. Okay. And so I was driving him to all these doctor's appointments to, manage his sleep disorder, when in reality, his sleep disorder was really his drug addiction to heroin. And he knew that he had a drug addiction to heroin. He knew it the whole time, but he was hiding it and covering it up with a sleep disorder. And I was running him to all these sleep study programs and all this other stuff. And he would be like sitting at the table and then instantly fall over. And little did I know that those were signs of heroin addiction, but I'm not a drug addict, so I didn't know the signs. So I was naive. So the point is, the Lord showing me, how long will you sleep, O sluggard? And meanwhile, my fiance was claiming that he was a believer in Jesus. He was claiming that he had a personal relationship, but the reality was he did not. Okay. And he was lying the whole time. So shall thy poverty come. And, and so it says, a naughty person, a wicked man, walks with a froward mouth. He winks with his eyes, and Eric winked all the time with his eyes. He speaks with his feet. He teaches with his fingers. Like, his hands were like always like, telling a weird story. His body language was like opposite of what it should have been. Frowardness is in his heart. He devises mischief. Continually he sows discord. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly. Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. Now, this whole idea of mischief, like this guy, my fiance, I mean,